start this program now. கர்த்தருடைய நாமத்தினாலே உங்கள் அனைவரும் கூட நான் வாழ்த்தி கொள்கிறேன். இந்த நாளிலே எங்களோடு கூட இந்த நாளிலே நீங்கள் அனைவரும் கூட இடைப்பட்டதுக்காக கர்த்தரை நான் மேன்மைப்படுத்துகிறேன். பல்வேறு இடங்களிலிருந்து இந்த கூட்டத்துல வருகை தந்திருக்கிற உங்கள் யாவரும் கூட கர்த்தருடைய பரிசுத்த நாமத்தினாலே வாழ்த்துகிறேன், வரவேற்றுக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்த நாட்களிலே கர்த்தர் நன்மையும் ஆசீர்வாதத்தையும் அனுபவித்துக் கொண்டு இருக்கிறோம் என்பதாக கர்த்தருக்குள்ளாக நான் விசுவாசிக்கிறேன். இந்த ஆண்டிலே தேவன் நமக்கு குறித்து வைத்திருக்கிற மகத்தான திட்டங்களுக்காக நான் கர்த்தரை ஸ்தோத்திரிக்கிறேன். இவ்வேளையிலே நாம் யாவரும் கூட ஒரு விசை இந்த கூட்டத்துக்குள்ளாக ஆரம்பிக்க வண்ணமாக இந்த ஜெபம் ஏறெடுத்து நாம் கடந்து போகும்படிக்கு இந்த வேளையிலே திருமதி வேலா ராஜசேகரன் அவர்கள் ஜெபத்தை ஏறெடுக்கும்படி நான் தாழ்மையோடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். On this hour, I would like to request Mrs. Vela Rajashekaran to offer a word of prayer as we begin this program. I hand over the time to Mrs. Vela Rajashekaran.
ஜெபிப்போம். பரமசிங்காசனத்தில் பூமியின் மக்களை காத்து வழி நடத்தும் எங்கள் அன்பு தெய்வமே, இந்த அருமையான நேரத்தில் நம்ம நோக்கி அப்பா பிதாவே என்று கூப்பிடக்கூடிய ஒரு சிலாக்கியத்தை எங்களுக்கு தந்ததுக்காக நம்ம கூடாக்கூடி சோஸ்திரம். இந்த கூட்டத்தில் கூடியிருக்கும் எல்லா பிள்ளைகளையும் பெற்றோரையும் மற்ற சபை விசுவாசிகளையும் நீர் ஆசீர்வதிக்க இந்த ஒவ்வொரு மக்களையும் கர்த்தாவே உடைய தேவதூர்களாலும் உடைய பரிசுத்த ஆவியாலும் நிரப்ப வேண்மைக்கின்றோம். ஸ்பெஷலி எங்க பிள்ளைங்க இப்போ ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணும்போது கர்த்தாவே அவர்கள் கூட உடைய கிருபை இருக்கவும் அவர்கள் நல்ல முறையில் இதை ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ண உள்ள கிருபை தாரும். அது போல கர்த்தாவே நாங்களும் இதிலிருந்து கற்றுக்கொள்கிற ஒவ்வொரு பாடத்தையும் நாங்கள் அதை எங்கள் வாழ்க்கையில் பிரயோஜனப்படுத்திக் கொள்ள உள்ள கிருபை தாரும். இந்த மீட்டிங் தொடக்கம் முதல் முடிவரை உங்களுடைய கிருபை எல்லாரோடும் விசேஷமாக இந்த பிள்ளைகளோடும் இருக்கத்தக்கதாக எங்களுடைய விண்ணப்பத்தை கேட்டு நீர் பதிலளிக்கணுமாய் இயேசுவின் இன்ப நாமத்தில் ஜெபம் கேளும் பிதாவே, ஆமென்.
I hand over the time to the MC. Thank you, Sister Bella.
கர்த்தருடைய பரிசுத்த நாமத்திற்கு ஸ்தோத்திரம் உண்டாவதாக. கூடி வந்திருக்கும் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்களையும் வரவேற்புகளையும் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். ஜெபத்தை எடுத்த ஆண்டிக்கு நன்றி. கர்த்தர் தாமே அவரை ஆசீர்வதிப்பாராக. இவ்வேளையில் நம் மத்தியில் ஆரம்ப பாடலை பாட ஸ்ரீலங்காவை சேர்ந்த பரிமலா அக்கா மற்றும் கலா அக்காவை அழைக்கிறேன். இந்த நேரத்தை அவர்களிடம் ஒப்படைக்கிறேன்.
Sister Parimala.
Okay, Pastor. Ready, Pastor.
Okay.
உயர்மலையோ அமேன். அருமையாக பாடலை பாடிய பிள்ளைகளுக்கு நன்றி. கர்த்தர் தாமே அவர்களை ஆசீர்வதிப்பாராக. அன்பானவர்களே, இவ்வேளையில் இன்றைய நாளின் பேச்சாளர்களின் உரையை கேட்போம். முதலாவதாக நம் மத்தியில் பேச வருபவர் லீடியா ஃப்ரெட்ரிக், வயது 12. இவர் இந்தியாவை சேர்ந்தவர்.
Lydia, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just wait.
Okay, you can go now.
Can you give me screen sharing?
You are co-host now. You can share your screen. Timekeeper, can we do it again?
Okay. Lydia?
Wait.
Lydia?
Yeah, we are ready. Tell I'm ready.
Okay,
Okay,
Hello?
you can start now.
hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss the 8 laws of health given in a vision to Mrs. Ellen White. Before I start that, let's understand that there are 2 types of diseases. The 2 types of diseases are number 1 is communicable diseases, diseases caused by germs, bacteria, virus, and fungi. And non-communicable diseases are diseases caused due to lifestyle habits. Lifestyle diseases are commonly caused by lack of physical activity, stress, unhealthy eating, alcohol, smoking, and the percentage of deaths because of lifestyle diseases. 45% of deaths are caused by cardiovascular diseases. 30% of deaths are caused by cancer. 8% of deaths are caused by diabetes. 10% of deaths are caused by chronic respiratory disease. And 7% of deaths are caused by others. What does the Bible talk about health? What is God's wish for us? Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health as thy soul prospereth. 3 John verse 2. What is God's diet prescription? And God said, behold, I have given you that thou mayest I've given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth. It shall be for meat. Genesis 1 verse 29. Let us discuss some of the events that occurred before the first major health. In 1848, an angel instructed Ellen White, the use of coffee, tea, meat, and drugs are harmful to health. In 1854, she was told adultery was a serious problem in the church. After the Whites moved to Battle Creek, Michigan in 1855, that city became the center of Adventist activity. In 1860, the SDA Church was beginning to get organized in Michigan. In 1863, the first General Conference meeting was held. Mr. James White was 2 months away from his 42nd birthday, and he was already suffering from work burnout. 16 days after the first General Conference, they traveled to Otsego, 25 miles away from Battle Creek, for the weekend meeting with their friends and to relax. Friday evening, Sabbath hours, we found ourselves all assembled, about a dozen being present. A chapter was read and Sister White led in prayer. Brother White, kneeling across the corner from her burden in prayer was for him. And as she prayed, while still on her knees, she moved over to his side, laid her hands on his shoulder, and prayed until she was taken in vision. This lasted for about 3/4 of an hour. Brother White was also greatly blessed and encouraged, and he was relieved of the burden of discouragement that he had been carrying. These are the true natural remedies shown in Otsego Vision. Number 1, nutrition. Use fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds and grains as fresh and simple as possible. Fresh is best. Avoid sugar, instead use honey and dry fruits. Number 2, exercise. Begin a program of walking Walk as far as is comfortable. Gradually work up to 3 or 4 miles a day. Work up to a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes. Number 3, water. Our body is about 75% water. Drink lots of water and avoid artificial drinks. In the morning on an empty stomach, drink 2 glasses of fresh lemon water. Shower daily. This improves circulation and helps the body to get toxins. Number 4, sunshine. Vitamin D helps to lower cholesterol. Sunlight increases the volume of oxygen in the blood. Number 5, temperance. Abstain from all harmful indulgences, tobacco, alcohol, coffee, soda, tea, except herbal tea. Temperance is moderation and wise choices in all aspects of life. Number 6, air. Pure, fresh air is very important to our well-being. That means good air with lots of oxygen. Even in winter, have windows open a little and air rooms daily. Avoid smoke, chemicals, room fresheners, and aerosol sprays. Number 7, rest. Number 7, rest. Lack of restful sleep could bring disease. For healing and cleansing to occur, much rest and sleep is needed, as these actions are done only while sleeping. We need 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Number 8, trust in God. Trust in God no matter what. God is our refuge and strength and very present help in trouble. Psalm 46, verse 1. An abiding faith in our loving God will help. He will give power to break harmful addictions. The Bible is a letter of love from God to us personally. Faith is simply taking God at his word, believing that he means what he says in his Bible, in his word, the Bible. If we take time every day to read God's word and talk to him about his promises, our lives will bloom as we have never dreamed. Ellen G. White says, every person should have a knowledge of nature's remedial agencies and how to apply them. It is essential both to understand the principles involved in the treatment of the sick and to have a practical training that will enable one rightly to use this knowledge. Ministry of Healing, page 128.
Go next one. These are the books. Down.
These are the books written by Ellen G. White on health, the Counsels on Diet and Food, the Ministry of Healing, the Health Food Ministry, all by Ellen G. White. Thank you.
Why those pictures? You can remove the pictures. They can't see them.
அமேன். லிடியா அவருக்கு நன்றி. மன்னிக்கணும், என்னோட லைன் திடீர்னு கட் ஆயிருச்சு. அடுத்து நம்முடைய இரண்டாவது பேச்சாளராக பேச வருபவர் சாமுவேல் சத்யன்ராஜ், வயது 13. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் டாக்டர் சத்யராஜ் பால் மற்றும் ஆன்டி ஸ்னேகா அவர்கள். இவருடைய தலைப்பு சோஷியல் பெயின். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 7 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to the timekeeper.
Samuel Satyaraj. Samuel Satyaraj. Are you ready?
Yes.
Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Are you ready?
There is Samuel. There is 2 devices connected. So
Okay. Okay. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah, hello. Okay.
Okay. Your time.
Everybody.
Wait, please. Your time start now.
Okay, I'm going to start now. Good afternoon, everybody. Girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen. I deem it an honor and a privilege to deliver this mental health talk on social pain. Social pain? What's that? What is social pain? Between social distancing, cancelling events, and political unrest, many people are facing what researchers call social pain. Mark Leary, Professor Emeritus of Psychology and Neuroscience at Duke University, defines social pain as a broad, informal label for painful emotions caused by situations involving other people, such as feeling rejected, alone, ostracized, devalued, abandoned, or disconnected. In fact, a study from the University of Sao Paulo suggests there has been a meteoric rise in social pain from COVID-19. People violate guidelines for controlling the pandemic, such as going out with friends, attending social events, and traveling over the holidays. The motive to maintain social connections is so powerful, and the emotions associated with feeling disconnected from other people is so aversive that it overrides rational considerations for staying healthy and protecting other people from the virus. The function of social pain is basically the same as physical pain, to alert us to threats to our social well-being and to deter us from doing things that undermine our social relationships. Imagine how we would act if people were not at all concerned with other people, ignoring, rejecting, and abandoning them. We'd have trouble maintaining friendships at school, work, or church, professional relationships, jobs, and other important family relationships, seriously undermining the quality of our lives. While feelings of social pain can feel unbearable, I'm going to enumerate how the following can help you cope. Number one, to cope, you need to know that your pain is real. Feelings of social pain are an inherent part of being human, and while they are unpleasant, they do not signify that something is wrong with you. However, they do indicate that your connections are not what you would like them to be at this time. For hundreds of years, our ancestors have lived in close-knit clans of 30 to 50 other individuals, so feelings of social isolation were rare. In contrast, we live rather socially disconnected lives, so feelings of social pain are more likely. Deborah Serrani, who is a professor at Adelphi University and author of Sometimes When I'm Sad, says to permit yourself to feel the emotion. Make sure you don't set a time limit for your social pain. Everyone moves through trauma differently. Number two, to cope, you need to try to manage your thoughts. In addition to missing social connections, thinking about missing them adds to the distress. Minimizing how often you think about your social connection can help. That's hard to do, of course, but getting involved in intrinsically interesting activities like hobbies, music, interesting TV programs or documentaries, exercise, fun with the family, prayer, reading the Bible and books and so on will help even when you don't initially feel like doing them. Distraction is sometimes a perfectly acceptable coping strategy. Number three, to cope, feed your senses. Social pain as well as physical pain responds well to sensorial experiences, says Dr. Serrani. So make sure to rest when you can, move your body as well, look at beautiful, colorful things, listen to music, grab a hug from a loved one, or take a warm shower or bath, savor a cup of hot drink, or smell the fresh air or a scent that soothes to reset your mind, body, and soul. The fourth point is find ways to connect with others. If possible, prioritize connecting with people who you value the most. Of course, that doesn't mean you violate COVID guidelines just to get together with people. Any sort of connection will help. Email, phone calls, video-based calls such as Zoom and FaceTime. But the more direct and personal, the better, says Professor Leary. Being grateful for the ease of communication can help too. Imagine if we were facing the pandemic without these communication capabilities and were still only using mailed letters to communicate. We are blessed today to have these Zoom communication. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you and around the globe about social pain right now. The fifth point is to cope, engage in social snacking. Just as people snack when they're hungry but can't fit in a full meal, Professor Leary says research shows that people can snack on reminders of their relationships when they can't interact with people. Looking at photos, reading old letters or messages, and simply thinking about one's relationship can help reduce negative feelings. Of course, they can also create feelings of sadness or nostalgia about the missing connection, but that's sometimes better than social plan. Number 6, to cope with social pain, get help from a professional. While most social pain comes and goes for both children and adults, Dr. Srani says if you can't find relief from social pain and are struggling consistently for 2 weeks or more with emotional and physical pains at work, home, or school, reach out to a mental health professional. They can assess if you need more involved assistance. Counselors and psychotherapists can offer strategies for dealing with feelings of disconnection, and simply having a connection with a mental health professional can make people feel less isolated. The last point, to cope with social pain, call upon God. Psalms chapter 25 verse 16 reads, "Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am lonely and afflicted." The psalmist says when he was in social pain, called upon God and says in Psalms 120 verse 1, "In my distress I cried unto the Lord and he heard me." When you call upon God, he will reveal your social pain. I hope my little effort has enlightened a little more about social pain. If you or anyone you know is going through this, please pass this information over to them. What you have received freely, freely give. I rest now with a prayer and wish that there will be an end to the pandemic-induced social pain.
அமீன். சாமுவல் அவருக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்து நம்முடைய 3வது பேச்சாளர் ஆண்ட்ரூ எல்வின் டேவிட், வயது 16. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் எல்வின் லூக் மற்றும் ஆன்டி ஆஷா அவர்கள். இவருடைய தலைப்பு மென்டல் ஹெல்த். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 7 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to the timekeeper.
Andrew, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, your time start now.
Hello, everyone, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some of the health issues that are afflicting this world today, and that is mental health. Samuel has very well given his side of social pain, which is related to mental health, but what I'm going to tell you is extra information related to that as well. What does mental health mean? It is the state of well-being in which an individual realizes their ability to cope with the normal stresses of life. But when someone who is not mentally well doesn't have this ability, and they will have different changes in their health, that this could include emotion, thinking, and behavior, and this can cause distress in their life and won't be able to complete their daily activities. Here we have this diagram of our mental health. If you see in these different text boxes that you can position yourself in how you are in a mental state. You could be on the right side where you have no illness or disorder and you have a positive mental health. Most of us will be there, but there'll be the couple of people who will have a diagnosis with mental illness and a poor mental health. So today we're going to talk about some of the things that we can do to help them cope with that. Here's some statistics that are in the UK so far, that 1 in 4 people will experience some sort of mental health problem, and 1 in 6 will experience depression, anxiety, or stress. So what are the effects of bad mental health? And we're going to list them here as well. One of them is stress. Now, it's not a psychiatric disorder, but it means that when you are overwhelmed and unable to cope with the result of pressures and you can't manage them. This can impact how you feel physically, and that can cause other mental health problems, causing your problems to get worse. And you won't be able to handle the day-to-day activities and won't be able to manage your life well. Fear is also another powerful emotion we can experience during mental health, and it has a very strong effect on our mind and body. Fear is something that we may consider bad, but there are two things we can see to this. It is a good thing. It keeps us alive, and we have that adrenaline rush for something that we want to do when we have the feeling of fear. But it is not good when we're trying to reach our aspirations and goals in life, our dreams, and it can get in the way if we can't get our goal, if we're scared and we have that fear. Fear is also related to anxiety, and anxiety refers to worry, nervousness, and again, fear. Now, there are two types of disorders that are in anxiety. You have short-term anxiety, which everyone experiences, and generalized anxiety disorder, which some people may experience. Short-term anxiety is when you don't have anxiety, but when you come into a situation of doing an exam, or you have an interview, or even doing something like this, where you're talking to people, you may have that nervousness, but that's okay because everyone is there to support you. But you have generalized anxiety disorder, where you have all these nervousness all the time, and you have symptoms like shaking. And if you have these symptoms for more than 6 months, you will be diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. You will also have another disorder, which is panic attacks. And here are some of the physical symptoms. It is a sudden and intense anxiety that you will feel, and you will shake, you'll feel sick, you're breathless and sweating. So that is panic attacks. But there's a difference between panic disorder and panic attack. Panic disorder is when you have recurrent unexpected panic attacks, but panic attacks is a whole different thing, where you have a stressful event in your life and you don't know how to cope with that. Another one is depression, is when you have persistent sadness, and then you have loss of interest in your favorable activities, and you won't be able to complete them in a day-to-day basis. Here we have a list of types of depression. You have got dysmethia, depressive episode, and so much more there. And there is so much more we could list. We had some statistics as well, also from the UK, about depression. Depression affects 1 in 10 people during their lifetime. 3 million people are diagnosed in the UK with depression. Women are twice as likely to develop depression, and a depressive episode, a type of depression, can last to 6 to 8 months. And many working days have been lost in the UK due to depression. Now, in present times, we have coronavirus, and we are affected in our lives, and we're affected mentally. Young people especially, they can't see their friends and do other social activities, so they have to use social media on their phone and other electronic devices. People also abuse their bodies by drinking, smoking, and having other addictions such as caffeine, which we've talked about as well, that can lead them to a worse state, but they think it is the right way to cope. And that way they'll lead to anxiety and stress as well, which we've talked about. So if we know someone in our life who has mental health problems, we're going to look at some things that can either support them or help them cope with better solutions. For support, we have to learn about mental health, and we have to listen to them and know what their problem is with mental health. Number 3 is that we have to be attentive and patient with them, so they can say their problem, and we have to be careful with them. If not, we could put them in a worse mental state. Don't judge and criticize them for what they are, because we are there to help them, and stay in contact with them if they have any further problems. For solutions, we want them to be creative. We want them to know what else they can do that's beyond their abilities. We want them to try out new hobbies that interest them, and what's enjoyable for them, and other self-enriching activities. And another one is just appreciate God's nature that he's given us, so that we may appreciate it and enjoy its beauty. Now, we're not looking for an immediate recovery, but because it's quite a long process and it's quite hard for someone to get back to their normal healthy mental state. But what we can do is give all these solutions and support for those who may need it. Thank you.
அமேன் என்று அவருக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்த பேச்சாளராக ஜானத்தன் எல்வின் டேவிட், வயது 13. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் எல்வின் லூக் மற்றும் ஆன்டி ஆஷா அவர்கள். இவர் பேச போகிற தலைப்பு ஸ்லீப். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 7 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to timekeeper.
John Wayne, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, your time start now.
Hello, my name is Jonathan, and for my health talk, I'll be talking about sleep. So, how many hours of sleep do we actually need? So, while at children 5 to 12 years old need 10 to 11 hours of sleep, and 12 to 18-year-olds need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and adults require 7.5 hours and 9 hours. So the importance of sleep. Sleep can reduce stress, it can improve your memory. Sleep can also put you in a better mood. It can keep your heart healthy. It can be a painkiller. And sleep can also make you smarter and taller. Other points are also on the screen. So some of us may sleep in the day, but sleeping in the day may cause stroke. Because of coronavirus, most of us sleep longer, so that can actually cause stress. This is because of according to studies. So please don't sleep regularly in the day. Some examples of sleep that is mentioned in the Bible are the 10 virgins. We all know this story, that 5 virgins waited for the bridegroom to come and were watchful, but the other 5 slept. This is an example where sleep didn't help them. So we have to be attentive for God's coming. Another point is when Jesus' disciples in the Garden of Gethsemane. If we read in Luke chapter 22, verses 45 to 46, it says, when he rose up from prayer and he had come to his disciples, he found them sleeping from sorrow. Then he said to them, why do you sleep? Rise and pray, lest you enter into temptation. So we know that the disciples weren't attentive when Jesus was praying. Another point is in Acts chapter 20, verses 9, and it says, and in a window sat a certain young man named Eutychus. He was sinking into a deep sleep when he was overcome by sleep. And as Paul continued speaking, he fell down from the 3rd story and was taken up dead. So what we learned from here is this boy Eutychus wasn't attentive to Paul's teachings and actually fell down and died. Ellen G. White says in Desire of Ages 634.2, those who watch for the Lord's coming are not waiting in idle expectancy. Those who are waiting for the Lord are purifying their souls by the obedience to the truth. With vigilant watching, they combine earnest working because they know that the Lord is at the door. Their zeal quickened to cooperate with the divine intelligences in working for the salvation of souls. These are the faithful and wise servants who give the Lord's household their portions of meat in due season. This is written in Luke chapter 12, verses 42. So we have to be ready for Jesus' coming. And please avoid sleeping in church, sometimes after our busy work schedules and not sleeping enough during the week. It makes us very sleepy in church, and suppose we do not give our utmost attention and time to God in services. So let us practice sleep schedules so we can enjoy our worship services and help us to be focused and attentive in all our endeavors. Thank you for listening.
அமேன். ஜானத்தன் அவருக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்த பேச்சாளராக ஜெஸ்ஸி மோசஸ், வயது 10. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் மோசஸ் ராஜசிங் மற்றும் ஆன்டி அஜந்தா அவர்கள். இவர் பேச போகிற தலைப்பு ஆல்மண்ட் நட்ஸ். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 6 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to timekeeper.
Jesse?
Hello everyone.
Jesse, excuse? Okay, your time start now.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about almonds. We'd like to briefly mention how they are related in the Bible and how it helps in our daily lives. The best known reference to the almond is in Aaron's rod that budded, Numbers chapter 17. The last reference to the almond is in Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 11. The word of the Lord came to me. What do you see, Jeremiah? I see the branch of an almond tree, I replied. The Hebrew word for almond sounds similar to that for watchful. Almonds are mentioned 6 times in the scriptures and only in the New Testament. The first reference is in Genesis chapter 43, verse 11, where Jacob, in an apparent attempt to curry favor with the ruler of Egypt, orders his son to take some of the best products of the land, including almonds. The best known reference to the almond is Aaron's rod that budded, Numbers chapter 17. This is miraculous because the flowering, budding, and fruiting of the almond in nature are always separated in time. The almond motif was part of the divine design for the lampstand in the tabernacle, Exodus chapter 25, verses 33 to 34, and Exodus chapter 37, verses 19 to 20. Moses was instructed to make the bowls of the lampstand in the shape of an almond flower. The buds and fruits were also to be present. The reference to almonds in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 5 presents some difficulty. The word translated flourishes, KJV, and blossoms, NIV, can mean two apparently contradictory things. The reference could be to the masses of white flowers on the almond tree, an allusion to the white hair of old age, or it could mean to be despised. The last reference to the almond is in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 11. The word of God came to me. What do you see, Jeremiah? I see a branch of an almond tree, I replied. Almonds are included as a good source of protein among recommended healthy foods by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. A review of clinical research indicated that regular consumption of almonds may reduce the risk of heart disease by lowering blood levels of LDL cholesterol. The almond is highly revered in some cultures. The tree originated in the Middle East and is mentioned numerous of times in the Bible. In the Hebrew Bible, the almond was a symbol of watchfulness and promise due to its early flowering. In the Bible, the almond is mentioned 10 times, beginning with the book of Genesis, chapter 43, verse 11, where it is described as among the best fruits. In Numbers chapter 17, Levi is chosen from the other tribes of Israel by Aaron's rod, which brought forth almond flowers. According to the tradition, the rod of Aaron bore sweet almonds on one side and bitter on the other. If the Israelites followed the Lord, the sweet almonds would be ripe and edible. But if they were to forsake the path of the Lord, the bitter almonds would predominate. The almond blossoms supplied a model for the menorah which stood in the holy temple. Almonds grow on trees in three parts: the hull, the shell, and the kernel. The hull is a bit fuzzy and reminds me of the outside part of a peach, but thicker. The shell is a thick layer that protects the kernel. The kernel is the actual nut that we eat. Almonds contain lots of healthy fats, fiber, protein, magnesium, and vitamin E. The health benefits of almonds include lower blood sugar levels, reduce the blood pressure, and lower cholesterol levels. They can reduce hunger and promote weight loss. Eating 8 to 10 soaked almonds in a day goes a long way in adding valuable nutrients in your daily diet. Though they have been proven as effective in curing spasms and pain, if you consume them in excess, it can lead to toxicity in your body. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you've learned some valuable points about almonds today.
Amen. Jesse, are you done, Jesse?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Amen. Jesse அவருக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்த பேச்சாளராக ஜானத்தன் ஸ்பைசர், வயது 14. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் ஸ்பைசர் பால் மற்றும் ஆன்டி ஷீலா அவர்கள். இவர் பேச போகிற தலைப்பு அடிக்ஷன். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 7 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to timekeeper.
Jonathan?
Yes, Auntie.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Your time start.
Good evening, all, respected judges, worthy opponents, and fellow members of the audience. Today, I would like to talk to you about addiction. What is addiction? The meaning of addiction is the inability to stop doing or using something. One of the most addictive things in life is technology. Did you know that Americans spend around 5.5 hours a day using their smartphones? People check their phones 58 times a day on average, with more than half of these occurring during the working hours. The reason why people spend so much time on technology is because of social media,
games, apps, and more. While many of us enjoy staying connected on social media, excessive use, too much use, and overuse can cause feelings of anxiety, depression, and isolation. Due to the effect it has on the brain, social media is addictive, both physically and psychologically. According to a new study by Harvard University, self-disclosure on social networking sites light up the same part of your brain that also ignites when taking addictive substances. 60% of people using social media report that it has impacted their self-esteem in a negative way. 50% reported social media having negative effects on their relationships. 80% reported that it is easier to deceive others through social posting. Social media has been linked to higher levels of loneliness, envy, anxiety, depression, and decreased social skills. But how can we stop addiction? I would like to read you a Bible verse taken from Titus 2:11-12, and it reads, "For the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation for all people, training us to renounce ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age." In the present days, we must leave all our worldly passions and addictions behind, so that we can live a life of self-controlled, upright, and godly lives. During the lockdown, we may have slowly got addicted to our phones, our computers, and our gadgets. Instead, we should replace these bad habits and addictions with better things, such as spending time with family, for example. Spending time with family has improved your emotional well-being and even higher levels of education. Also, taking time to participate in meaningful activities together makes your behavioral problems decrease. When was the last time you spent quality time with your friends and family? Over the past few years, technology and social media has changed dramatically. You may be addicted to social media if the following apply to you. You're occupied by social media. You use it to reduce negative feelings. You gradually use it to get the same happiness from it. And you suffer from distress if you're prohibited from using social media. Social media was designed to be addictive. The creators of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter want you to stay on the apps as much as possible. You don't have to quit social media, but a controlled rather than a compulsive relationship is going to help you. Some people want to quit social media, but there are three main points that many of us fall into. One, people find that people using Instagram puts you in a comparison mode. By seeing what other people have, you instinctively want it. Others are addicted to getting feedback and attention. Your phone makes you feel connected and less alone, and it occupies your mind. And number three, it's a time killer, that you can get distracted from your work and it can hinder your productivity. Social media is not the only addiction. There are many other addictions. The main solution to all addictions is Jesus. Let Jesus be your addiction. Spend time with Jesus and he will immediately become your addiction. You will automatically see that the way you behave will change. When we take time to pray and read the Bible, we are reminded of his goodness, that we never need to worry because God is there to take care of us. So I urge you, if you have any addictions or anything you want to change, turn to God. Will you allow God to be your addiction? Thank you.
அமேன். ஜானத்தன் அவருக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்த பேச்சாளராக கிரேஸ் ஜெனிதா, வயது 10. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் ராஜேந்திரன் குமார் மற்றும் ஆன்டி ஏசா அவர்கள். இவர் பேச போகிற தலைப்பு ஸ்லீப். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 6 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to timekeeper.
Grace.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Grace.
Hello, Auntie.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, Auntie, I'm ready, Auntie.
Okay, your time start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, my talk pick is about sleep. Sleep is often seen as a time when the body is inactive. In fact, the opposite is true. Sleep is an active, essential, and involuntary process without which we cannot function. It says in Psalms chapter 4, verse 8, "Today, when the time comes to sleep, say what the psalmist, at peace I lie down and fall asleep soon, because thou, Lord, make me live in safety."
Praise God. I become so emotional. The tears are coming. Mama
Okay, let's see about the sleeping pattern of the human cycle. Infants should get 14 to 15 hours per day. Toddlers should get 12 to 14 hours per day. Children between 3 to 6 years old should get at least 10 to 12 hours per day. Children between 7 to 12 years old should get 10 to 11 hours per day. Teens should get 8 to 9 hours per day. Those are between 18 to 65 years old should get 7 to 9 hours per day. And those are 65 and over need to get 7 to 8 hours per day. Let's see about sleep hygiene. These are some helpful tips to help you sleep. First of all, what is sleep hygiene? Sleep hygiene is used to describe good sleep habits. Many of us don't pay attention to our sleeping habits, but they are essential. Your personal habits are to be fix a bedtime and a waking time. The body gets used to falling asleep at a certain time, but only if this is relatively fixed. Avoid napping during the day, or make sure you limit the nap to 20 to 30 minutes. Avoid caffeine and alcohol 4 to 6 hours before bed. Exercise, but not before bed. Strenuous exercise within 2 hours before bedtime can interfere with your ability to fall asleep. Your sleeping environment. Use comfortable bedding. Find a comfortable bedding and a good temperature to keep the room well ventilated. Block out all distracting noise. Also eliminate as much light as possible. Reserve the bed for the 3 S's, sleep and sickness. Don't use the bed as an office. Let your body know that the bed is associated with the 3 S's. Get ready for bed. Try a light snack before bed. Warm milk and food high in amino acid tryptophan, such as bananas, may help you sleep. Use relaxation techniques. And don't take your worries to bed. Get into your favorite sleeping position. Don't toss or turn in bed. If you think it's been more than 30 minutes, get up and do some relaxing activity. Maybe try light reading. A word about electronics. Using electronics before bedtime is often a bad idea. They're engaging objects that tend to keep people awake. Some people find that listening to music helps them fall asleep since it's a less engaging activity. Other factors. The goal is to rediscover how to sleep naturally. Several physical factors are known to upset sleep. These include sleep apnea, pain, arthritis, acid reflux with heartburn, menstruation, headaches, and hot flashes. Many medications can use sleeplessness as a side effect. Psychological and mental health problems like depressions, anxiety, and stress are often associated with sleeping difficulty. Okay. Now we are going to see about the 8 signs of sleep problems. Number 1, find it difficult to fall asleep. Number 2, lay awake for long periods at night. Number 3, wake up several times during the night. Number 4, wake up early and be unable to get back to sleep. Number 5, feel down or have a lower mood. Number 6, have difficulty concentrating. Number 7, be more irritable than usual. And finally, number 8, you feel that you didn't sleep well last night. Here we are going to see why we actually need to sleep. Number 1, you'll look better. Too little sleep leads to lackluster and wrinkle-prone skin. Number 2, you'll feel better. Sleep deprivation raises average daily blood pressure and your heart rate. Number 3, you'll behave better. We're grumpier, snappier, and have less patience when we have not got enough sleep. Number 4, you'll perform better. Losing sleep erodes concentration and problem-solving ability. Each 1 hour lost per night is associated with temporary loss of 1 IQ point. And finally, number 5, lack of sleep causes changes to the way our brain functions in areas of impulse control and decision making. Now I have got a small video clip to see what the doctor says about the sleeping hours.
Hi, I am Dr. Edith Rocha Sanchez with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Every parent knows sleep is essential for a family's health and happiness, but how much does your child really need? Toddlers and preschoolers need 10 to 14 hours of sleep. School-age kids need at least 8 or 9 hours of sleep at night, and some may need more. If your child seems sleepy in the morning, talk with your pediatrician on how to improve the quality of sleep she's getting. For more tips on kids and sleep, visit. Hi, I am.
Thank you, everyone. Auntie, is the time finished?
You can continue if you haven't finished yet.
Oh, sorry, Auntie. I thought I was finished. To conclude my topic, getting enough sleep is one of the essential in life, and it helps in making an individual sharp and smart over the span of our lifetime. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. அமேன் கிரேஸ் அவருக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்த பேச்சாளராக ஜான்வின் சுந்தர் ராஜ், வயது 16. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் சுந்தர்ராஜ் மற்றும் ஆன்டி மஞ்சு அவர்கள். இவர் பேச போகிற தலைப்பு விட்டமின் B2 ரைபோஃப்ளவின். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 7 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to timekeeper.
Can you repeat the name?
John Win.
Okay. John V, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, your time start. Wait, please. Okay, your time start now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to talk to you about vitamin B2, also known as riboflavin. Riboflavin is one of the 8 B vitamins which help convert food into fuel, which is used to transfer energy to the body. It helps metabolize fats and proteins and is necessary for a healthy liver, skin, hair, and the eyes. It helps the nervous system to function properly, and it works as an antioxidant, fighting and damaging particles in the body called free radicals. Free radicals can damage cells and DNA, and they contribute to the aging process. They also develop lots of health issues such as heart disease and cancer. It was initially discovered by an English chemist by the name of Alexander Blyth in 1879, but was officially characterized as riboflavin in 1980. Sources of vitamin B2 include fish, meat, poultry such as turkey, chicken, beef, kidney, and liver, egg, dairy products, asparagus, artichokes, avocados, cayenne, currants, fortified cereals, molasses, mushrooms, nuts, parsley, pumpkins, roast hips, sage, and sweet potatoes. These foods should be stored away from sunlight to protect its riboflavin content. Riboflavin is not destroyed by heat, but it is water soluble, meaning that it can be lost in water. Roasting and steaming these foods can preserve its riboflavin content. Riboflavin is necessary to change vitamin B6 and folate into forms it can use. It is also important for growth and red blood cell production. Riboflavin deficiency is a significant risk when diet is poor, and it can lead to cataracts, migraine, headache, and autism. Symptoms shown are fatigue, slow growth, digestive problems, cracks and sores around the corners of the mouth, swelling magenta-colored tongue, and sensitivity to light. I hope we can all integrate vitamin B2 into our diets today. Thank you.
அமேன். ஜான்வின் அவருக்கு நன்றி. அடுத்து இன்றைய நாளின் இறுதி பேச்சாளராக ஆண்ட்ரூ ஜான்சன், வயது 14. இவர் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர். இவருடைய பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் ஜான்சன் மற்றும் ஆன்டி ஹெப்சி அவர்கள். இவர் பேச போகிற தலைப்பு எக்ஸசைஸ். இவருக்கு வழங்கப்படுகிற நேரம் 7 நிமிடங்கள். Hand over to timekeeper.
Andrew?
Yes.
Yes. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Your time start now.
Okay. If you're thinking about living a more active lifestyle, you're not alone. In recent years, an increasing number of people have started participating in more sports, fitness, and recreation. Whether you're trying to get fit or build muscle or just tired of the couch, here are some things to expect along the way. On the first workout, you will feel more energetic because ramping up your heart means overall boost of blood flow to your brain. But prepare yourself for your next 72 hours. You'll be experiencing delayed onset muscle soreness. The soreness will persist for around 72 hours, but after that, you are less likely to get the pain again. As long as you regularly continue to do exercise, those same muscles, you won't get the pain. Over the course of a few weeks, you will start to build up a production mitochondria via a process, mitochondrial biogenesis. Mitochondria is the process where your fats and carbs turn to fuel for your muscle to work and do things such as flex and contract. Studies have proved that after 6 to 8 weeks, people increase their mitochondria by 50%. More mitochondria means that your endurance will be increased. For an example, running 3 miles won't be as difficult as before. After 6 months of the hard work of doing all your exercise, you should start to see results. If your workouts are mainly focusing on strength training, your body will start to take shape. You'll also be less likely to fall out of this wagon after this time. Exercise programs often see dropouts within the first 6 months, but after doing exercise for around 6 months, people usually tend to stick. If you've focused on cardio, by 9 months of regular exercise, you should start to see an improvement of 25% of your VO2 max. VO2 max is a measurement of fitness. It refers to how fast the oxygen travels to the muscles for fuel. Basically, higher VO2 means that you can run faster for a longer time. So 25% increase means that you can run about 20% further in the same amount of time. After 1 year of exercise, your bones will become more dense. This reduces the risk of osteoporosis. In-phase researchers have proven when mixed with aerobic exercises can actually reverse the effects of osteoporosis after 12 months. Here are some effects on exercise. Number 1, it improves your memory and brain function for all ages. Number 2, it protects against many chronic diseases. Number 3, it can help in weight management. Number 4, it can help in lowering blood pressure and improving heart health. Number 5, it improves your quality of sleep. Number 6, reduces feelings of anxiety and depression. Combat cancer-related fatigue. Number 8, improve joint pain and stiffness. Number 9, maintains muscle strength and balance. Number 10, it can even increase lifespan. Now we are going to talk about aerobic exercise. Aerobic exercise aims to improve how the body uses oxygen. Most aerobic exercises take place at average levels of intensity over longer periods. An aerobic exercise session involves warming up, exercising for at least 20 minutes, and then cooling down. Aerobic exercise mostly uses large muscle groups. Aerobic exercise provides the following benefits. It improves muscle strength in the lungs, heart, and even the whole body, improves circulation and blood flow in the muscles, increases the red blood cell count to enhance oxygen transportation, reduces the risk of diabetes, stroke, and cardiovascular disease, improves life expectancy and symptoms for people with coronary heart diseases. It stimulates bone growth and reduces the risk of osteoporosis when at high intensity. It also, of course, it helps sleep hygiene and it enhances stamina by increasing the body's ability to store energy molecules. Okay, so anaerobic exercises, on the other hand, it doesn't use oxygen for energy. People use this type of exercise to build power, strength, and muscle mass. These exercises are high-intensity activities that should last no longer than 2 minutes. Anaerobic exercise include weightlifting, sprinting, intensive and fast skipping with a rope, interval training, isometrics, any rapid burst of intense activity. While all benefits the heart and lungs, anaerobic exercise provides fewer benefits for cardiovascular health rather than aerobic exercise and uses fewer calories. However, it is more effective than aerobic exercise for building muscle and improving strength and power. Some exercises combine stretching, muscle conditioning, and balance training. A popular and effective example is yoga. Yoga movements improve balance, flexibility, posture, and circulation. The practice originated in India thousands of years ago and aims to unify the mind, body, and spirit. Modern yoga uses a combination of meditation, posture, and breathing exercise to achieve the same goals. Doing exercise can often be time-consuming and maybe a roadblock to a busy schedule. However, people do not need to dedicate large amounts of time to exercise to see benefits. You can try, instead of using car journeys, you can try just walking, or if it's too far, you can like drop your car off like a mile away and then walk the rest. Or you can just, instead of watching TV, you can go out and go for a run or something. The main part is to just find ways to exercise to fit your type of lifestyle. Thank you.
Amen. Andrew அவருக்கு நன்றி. Thank you to all the speakers who spoke so wonderfully. God bless them. மிகவும் அருமையாக பேசிய ஒவ்வொரு பேச்சாளர்களுக்கும் நன்றி. கர்த்தர் தாமே அவர்களை ஆசீர்வதிப்பாராக. இவ்வேளையில் விசேஷ பாடலுக்கு கடந்து செல்வோம். இந்த பாடலை பாடவிருப்பவர்கள் ஜார்டின் 9 வயது மற்றும் ஜஸ்லின் 6 வயது. இவர்கள் யூகேவை சேர்ந்தவர்கள். இவர்களின் பெற்றோர்கள் அங்கிள் தீராஜ் சுவாமி மற்றும் ஆன்டி ஜாய்ஸ் அவர்கள். இந்த நேரத்தை அவர்களிடம் ஒப்படைக்கிறேன்.
You are my strength when I am weak. You are the treasure that I seek. You are my all in all. Seeking you as a precious jewel, Lord, to give up I'd be a fool. You are my all in all. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Oh, taking my sin, my cross, my shame, rising again, I bless your name. You are my all in all. When I fall down, you pick me up. When I am dry, you fill my cup. You are my all in all. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy is your name. Jesus, Lamb of God, worthy
அமேன். மிகவும் கியூட்டாக பாடிய சகோதரிகளுக்கு நன்றி. கர்த்தர் தாமே அவர்களை ஆசீர்வதிப்பாராக. இவ்வேளையில் காத்து கொண்டிருந்த நேரம் வந்துவிட்டது. மிகவும் அருமையாக பேசிய பிள்ளைகளை பற்றி ஜட்ஜஸ் உடைய கருத்துக்களை கேட்போம். நம் மத்தியில் இன்று 3 ஜட்ஜஸ் இருக்காங்க. ஆன்டி சிந்தியா முரளி, டாக்டர் மேக்ஸ்வெல் பெஞ்சமின் மற்றும் ஆன்டி பிரேமிலா ஜெயச்சந்திரன் அவர்கள். ஒவ்வொரு ஜட்ஜஸ்களுக்கும் 2 நிமிடங்கள் வழங்கப்படுகிறது. இப்பொழுது ஜட்ஜஸ் நீங்க உங்க கருத்துக்களை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளலாம். முதலாவதாக ஆன்டி சிந்தியா.
Mrs. Cynthia, Esther Cynthia, you can go ahead now.
Really well done by all the children. I want to appreciate Lydia. I was very fascinated with the history you gave about, the content was really good, how the health message started, and your pronunciation clarity was excellent. And Samuel, your topic was really unique. You gave really practical guidelines, especially I loved the points you said about how to feed the senses and social snacking. Really nice. And Andrew, you took a topic which was quite neglected, and I love the support and the solutions you gave, especially how we should turn to the nature, because nowadays nobody turns to the nature, right? All of us are involved in technology. Jonathan, I love the point that you said that how we should not sleep in daytime. After this virus came, everybody had this habit of sleeping in the daytime, and your examples from the Bible were so thought-provoking and appropriate. Jesse, you gave so much of information regarding almonds, which I didn't know, though I eat almonds every day. I didn't know almonds had so much of, and I love that that point you said that it's a symbol of watchfulness and promise. And Jonathan, your introduction was good, and I loved the statistics you gave regarding how each, and it was really nice. 58 times in a day. It was really awesome, and even adults and kids use the phone. When you said 58 times in a day a person watches cell phone, I was really astonished how many times we open the Bible and read. And the nice suggestion you gave how we should spend time with the family. It's a good choice that everyone should make. And Grace, I love the point that you said that how we should not make the bed as our office, and good sleeping positions. You stressed on it, because many people don't realize the importance, and using electronics before sleep, it's very, very important. Many people use the cell phone before sleeping. Johnwin, it was really nice, your presentation. Many people talk about vitamin D, vitamin B12, A and all, but they neglect this riboflavin. Good, you chose this unique topic. And Johnson, finally, I loved your introduction, especially your regarding your VO2 max, aerobic and warm-up. It was really nice. All of you children did well. I really appreciate your effort to spread the health message. God bless you.
Thank you, Auntie Cynthia. அடுத்ததாக டாக்டர் மேக்ஸ்வெல்.
Hello.
Sir, I can hear you. You can proceed.
Good evening to everyone. Lot of research work is done. Useful information passed. Finally, all the 9 agreed to speak and said to your parents, we will talk, don't worry. That's the message I can able to read from your faces. Excellent speech, everyone. 1 or 2 things which I like, but it was not found in your presentation. everyone have chosen reading speech. Nothing wrong. Most of the leaders in the parliament in other places, they use reading style. But I knew your parents. I have witnessed face to face how your parents have spoken in the Eastern style without the script. I'm not underestimating your ability because of the constraint. Finally, you agreed for something that you can present. Just imagine, I have not given much mark for gesture and posture because just imagine 1,000 eyes are looking at you and you are not looking at them. How they feel. In the gospel, the 4 gospel, we have read what Christ has spoken, his situation, where he has spoken, the stage, the surroundings, but it is not recorded and being found how he spoke. When he said to Magdalene, go sin no more, in which tone he has spoken, what about his facial expression, when he commanded the wind and the sea, what about his volume, pitch, tone, and his facial expression and his body language. Why I say, because I will go to heaven and see the video of how Christ has spoken when he was on this earth, in what gesture he has spoken. Because most of the experts, they say, most of the message are well understood, and more than 50% they understand what you are saying through your gesture and posture. So next time you can include, that's what I'm saying. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Maxwell. இறுதியாக ஆன்ட்டி பிரேமிலா அவரை அழைக்கிறேன்.
All of you did very well. I don't know what to say. You have prepared so well, and you kept to the time. As soon as the timekeeper gave the ring, you stopped immediately. You were so aware, though you were so much engrossed and talking, but still your ear was always to the bell. So you, as soon as the bell keeper gave the warning bell, one girl got confused, of course. The others they went on till the second bell was given. And you all were very well dressed. Your appearance was good, and your language was good. It was clear. The theme was continued, and you have done your homework, I should say. You have done very good research. I don't know if it's your parents' work or your work, whatever it is. You have done a good job. And then, of course, pronunciation and articulation, everything was good. Good introduction you did, and even conclusion you did very well. In some of the speeches, students, when they spoke, children spoke. I was a teacher, so I'm saying students, I'm very sorry. When some of the children spoke, there was no introduction and no conclusion also. But most of you today, you had introduction as well as conclusion. And what I wanted to talk, Dr. Maxwell already told about the posture. I couldn't see you. Of course, I saw you, but you all were very comfortably glued to the seat. And there was no action. Of course, when Jesus was on this earth, when he told the story, he used always stories in his speech. And when he used stories, when he spoke to the audience, he used action. And you children too, maybe you were not trained. Maybe the parents did not tell you. Maybe you were not aware of it. It's just a small advice for you, so that next time you can add that also to when you speak. I mean, children, those who are, some of you here Parents, I know you were studied in 7th grade school and you have taken part in Temperance. And the Temperance, who was the director of this Temperance, he's here. He knows how you have to use actions, expression, body language, all should be there. I wish Pastor Durraj speaks a little more about it, so that next time the children will add all this, include this, and also parents will be aware of it. And your presentation was good, and it had all your message had educational value. And then, of course, I told already about the posture, and then I'm sure next time you'll do much better. You did very well. You, in fact, you confused me a little bit. I was not able to, I didn't know what mark to give to all of you, because most of you did very well. And maybe in your country, you don't give much importance to dress code. All of you were dressed very well. I'm not saying that. It was good. All of you were dressed very well. I told you, you have done very good research and you have given a very good information, and very well it was done. Children, I'm sure in future you'll do much better, and may God bless you all as you live for Him. The Christ coming is very soon. All the information that you gave was very good, and even and about the almond, one little girl spoke about almond. I tell you, the almonds, I didn't know so much about, as Cynthia told. I too was not aware about, I too take almonds, but I too didn't know it had so much value. I mean, so nice, very good. Congratulations, my dear children. God bless you all. And I want Pastor Durraj, I don't want him to escape. I want him to give a little more advice about the how, I mean, on the whole, because he knows better. He was the Temperance director.
Okay. Yeah, sure,
For
Auntie.
many years.
Yes, sure, Auntie. We'll invite our silent judge, Pastor Durraj, to give a comment, one or two, before we go for closing prayer. Pastor Durraj.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As three judges made comments, and I really want to, the same thing, just I want to, but on the whole, just I want to say, as the judges made mention, one thing just I want to tell you, good judging is very, very critical. Good judging is very, very critical. How very, because we want to really appreciate all the children, and sometimes we are not trying to catch the train or aeroplane, or don't go fast. That also is there. Just go fast. It should be very clear. But wording fluency is there. All UK children, our children are there. I'm so very happy. Gestures, little bit we have to match. It was that naturalness is very, very important in speech. Your speech and your action must go together, as Mrs. Premila Jayachandran mentioned. And the first judge, she was the good speaker, was Sundaram's daughter Cynthia. She was the temperance speaker when I was in charge of temperance department. Just I really thought of it. Now she's a judge, one of the judges. Really, I want to appreciate it. Originality is there. I want to really the manner, dynamic delivery. I want to say that. Except one or two few, I want to really that articulation already it was mentioned. Wording fluency, I'm just on the whole. But subject related, it was, you have covered, as they said, evidence of research and that organization, that was, the originality was there, and the eligibility, sometimes one or two places only. Anyhow, it is a very stimulating thought. It is stimulating and provoking. On the whole, it was very appealing. It was very appealing. The children, it is not that winning is not, winning is important, but it's not, don't worry, participation is, but all, you are all shining stars, no doubt about it. You had good voice control, clear pronunciation is very, very important. Excellent. You have done a good job. Knowledgeable children. You have done your best. I want to really appreciate it. It's very hard. And sometimes when we judge, the first speaker is the reference point, and the last speaker, even middle speaker also should be given. But I'm confident our judges are all, you have selected beautifully, they have covered the things. So in all areas, you have done unbiasedly. I mean, they have done their best, and we want to appreciate once again. So the fair and impartial way you have done it, the judges, I'm so very happy. Above all, this is all to improve your speech. What all, the judges made mention, you have to just keep in mind and do your best. Shining stars. These are all shining stars, the future. God bless you. You have done a good job. I want to really commend the contestants and the very successful, good judges. They made the right choice. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Duraraj. Indeed, that's what the judges and Pastor Duraraj had added the point. I do like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers and the one that performed the special number, and also to Sister Bella, who have coordinated in getting the children to speak in this platform. The speakers exhibited a passion, energy, attitude, skill, ability to make their speech very interesting and effective. இன்மையிலே இன்று நாளிலே அவர்களுடைய பேச்சுகள் விறுவிறுப்பாகவும் சுறுசுறுப்பாகவும் பேசினார்கள் என்பதாக நான் அறிந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். ஆகையினால இன்றைக்கு அவர்கள் வித்தியாசமான முறையில அவர்கள் நிதர்சனமான அதாவது உண்மையிலே ஆழமான கருத்துக்களை முன் வைத்திருக்கிறாங்க. We thank you for the profound thoughts and research have done on the matters that you have shared today. And I'm thankful to the parents and like to thank the participant, each and every one of you. You have done really very well, and you are indeed the star to shine as you grow up in the church or in wherever you are, in the community that you are serving right now. May the Lord's name be honored. Thank you, each and every one of you. And now,
excuse me, sir, that eye contact is very important.
Eye contact.
Some of those people, they were lacking that. Yeah. Eye contact.
Please take note. Yeah, please take note what Pastor Duraraj said, because next week we will have further UK and the Western country to join with us as well. So eye contact is added point value there, and so please take note of that. என்ன பாஸ்டர் அது கண்ணு
ஐ கான்டாக்ட், பார்வை, தமிழ்ல பார்வை தொடர்பு. அந்த எந்த யார் இடத்துல பேசுறோமோ அவர் சொன்னார் இல்லைங்க, thousands are looking at us. So eye contact is very, very important. Even if you read also, eye contact is very important.
Like a news reader.
That's
when
right.
She reads, she has to look forward to the camera. So yeah, please take note of that, and we will meet you again tomorrow because this program will go until 1 week throughout this week. So thank you each and every one of you. We'll go for closing prayer right now. We'll have Auntie ஞான சிகாமணி. Auntie ஞான சிகாமணி ஆண்டி தயவுசெய்து உங்களுடைய மைக் அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க. இந்த வேளையிலே விசேஷ ஜெபம் ஏறெடுக்கப்படவிருக்கிறது. ஆண்டி ஞான சிகாமணி ஆண்டி, ஆண்டி ஞான சிகாமணி ஆண்டி உங்களோட மைக் அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க. ஆண்டி ஆண்டி ஞான சிகாமணி ஆண்டி.
எஸ்பா
ஆண்டி ஒரு ஜெப குறிப்புகள் தயவுசெய்து கொஞ்சம் நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஸ்கிரீன்ல பாருங்க. இந்த ஸ்கிரீன்ல வந்து ரக்ஸ் சகாயராஜ் உடைய தாயார் இன்று தினத்துல காலமாய் இருக்கிறாங்க. அவர்களுக்காகவும் தயவு செய்து நீங்க ஜெபம் மேறெடுக்கும்படி தாழ்வோடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். அடுத்ததாக தங்கராஜ் அவர்களுக்கு உடல் சுகவீனமா இருக்கிறது. அடுத்ததாக புஷ்பராஜ் அவர் வந்து சர்க்கரை நோய் உடையவர்கள். அடுத்ததாக திருமதி சுமதி கனகராஜ், பாஸ்டர் கனகராஜ் உடைய துணைவியார், அவர்கள் உடல் பலவீனமா இருக்கிறது. இந்த 4 குறிப்புகளுக்காக ஆண்டி ஞான சிகாமணி அவர்கள் இறுதி ஜெபத்தை ஏறெடுக்கும்படி தாழ்வோடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். அது மாத்திரமல்ல, இந்த நாளில 9 பேச்சாளர்கள் விசேஷ பாடல் பாடினவர்களுக்காகவும் ஆண்டவரை நான் ஸ்தோத்திரம் செய்து இந்த கூட்டத்துக்குள்ளாக இறுதி ஜெபத்தோட நம்ம கொடுத்து முடிக்க இருக்கிறோம். ஆண்டி இந்த வேலை நீங்க ஜெபம் ஏறெடுக்கலாம். இந்த 4 குறிப்புகள்.
நேற்றும் என்றும் என்று மாறாத இரக்கமுள்ள அன்புள்ள ஆண்டவரே, கொடான கூடிய நன்றியும் ஸ்தோத்திரத்தையும் எடுக்கிறோம் சுவாமி. பாவிகளாகி எங்கள் மேல் கிருபையா இருந்தாலும் கர்த்தாவே, இந்த நாளை காண செய்த கிருபைக்காக அன்புக்காக ஸ்தோத்தரிக்கிறோம். இந்த அருமையான சிறு பிள்ளைகளுடைய சிறு இளம் பேச்சாளர்கள் என்ற அந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை நடத்துகிற பிள்ளைகளை ஆசீர்வதியும், அதுல பேசின ஒவ்வொரு பிள்ளைகளையும் ஆசீர்வதியும் கர்த்தாவே. சிறு வயதிலிருந்தே உண்மை அறிகிற அறிவிலும் ஞானத்திலும் புத்திலும் தேவ கிருபிலும் தேவ தயவிலும் மனுஷ தயவிலும் அதிகமாக விருத்தி அடைந்து கர்த்தருக்கு சாட்சியுள்ள பிள்ளைகளாக சபைக்கு தூண்களாக வளரத்தக்கதாக இந்த குழந்தைகளை ஒவ்வொருவரையும் ஆசீர்வதியும். பேசின பிள்ளைகளுக்கு இன்னும் அறிவையும் ஞானத்தையும் புத்தியும் தேவ பக்தியும் தந்து வழிநடத்த வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிறோம் ஆண்டவரே. இந்த சிறு குழந்தைகளை பெற்றோர்கள் பயிற்சி கொடுத்து அருமையாக அந்த பிள்ளைகள் பேசினார்கள் சுவாமி. இன்னும் அதிகமாக அவருடைய ஞானம் வளரத்தக்கதான கிருபையை தாரும். அதை பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கிற ஒவ்வொரு குடும்பங்களை ஆசீர்வதி. இன்னும் அநேக சிறு பிள்ளைகள் ஆண்டவரே இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில கலந்து கொள்ளத்தக்கதான கிருபையும் பாக்கியத்தை நீர் தர வேண்டுமாய் ஜெபிக்கிறோம். இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை ஆரம்பித்து இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி ஆயத்தப்படுத்தின போதகர்மார்களை ஆசீர்வதி சுவாமி. ஆண்டவரே அவர்களுக்கு விசேஷ ஞானத்தால் நிரப்பும் ஆண்டவரே. இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை தொகுத்து வழங்கின அந்த குழந்தையை ஆசீர்வதி சுவாமி. எட்வின் மகளை ஆசீர்வதி சுவாமி. ஆண்டவரே இது நடத்தின பிள்ளைகளை ஆசீர்வதியும். விசேஷமாக ஜெப குறிப்புகள் இந்த இடத்துல கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது கர்த்தாவே. ஆண்டவரே பாஸ்டர் எக்ஸுடைய அம்மா காலமாகி விட்டார் என்று கேள்விப்பட்டேன் ஆண்டவரே. அது வெறும் ஆண்டவரே மிக வருத்தமா இருக்குது சுவாமி. அவங்க தன் பெற்ற தாயை நல்லபடியாக கவனித்து கொண்டான் சுவாமி. பாஸ்டர் எக்ஸ் ஆண்டவரே அந்த மகனுக்கு நல்லா 2 மகன்களுக்கும் அவங்க குடும்பங்களுக்கும் ஆறுதலையும் தேர்தலையும் சமாதானத்தையும் தர வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிற ஆண்டவரே. தாயை கொடுத்த அந்த மகனை ஆண்டவரே தேற்றும் ஆண்டவரே. கர்த்தாவே அந்த குடும்பத்துக்கு சமாதானத்தை தாரும் சுவாமி. அது போல தங்கராஜ் என்ற சகோதரனுக்காக ஜெபிக்கிற அவங்க சிக்கா இருக்காங்க ஆண்டவரே. அவங்களுக்கு எந்த வியாதியோ கஷ்டமோ இருந்தாலும் அவங்களை ஆண்டவருடைய நாமத்தினாலே அவங்களுக்கு நல்ல சுகம் கிடைக்கத்தக்கதான கிருபையும் பாக்கியத்தையும் தர வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிறோம் சுவாமி. ஆண்டவரே புஷ்பராஜ் என்ற சகோதரருக்காக ஜெபிக்கிற அவர்கள் சர்க்கரை நோயினால பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்காங்களா ஆண்டவரே. அவங்களுக்கு நல்ல சரீர சுகத்தையும் பலத்தையும் ஆரோக்கியத்தையும் தாரும். எடுத்துக்கொள்கிற மருந்து மாத்திரைகளை ஆசீர்வதி சுவாமி. ஆண்டவரே அதே போல சுமதி கனகராஜுக்காக ஜெபிக்கிறோம் கர்த்தாவே. அந்த சகோதரிக்கு நல்ல சுகத்தையும் பலத்தையும் தாரும். எந்த விதமான பலவீனங்கள் இருந்தாலும் ஆண்டவரே இயேசு நாமத்தினால் அவைகளை எடுத்துவிட்டு அவர்களுக்கு நல்ல சுகத்தையும் பலத்தையும் ஆரோக்கியத்தையும் தர வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிறோம். பாஸ்டர் எபினேசர் டேனியலுக்காக ஜெபிக்கிறோம் ஆண்டவரே. அவங்க குடும்பத்துக்காக ஜெபிக்கிறோம். அவர்களுக்கு நல்ல சரீர சுகம் பலன் ஜீவனை தாரும். எந்த விதமான பிரச்சனைகள் இல்லாதபடி கர்த்தாவே அந்த வைரஸ்னால பாதிக்கப்பட்ட பிள்ளைகளுக்கு நல்ல சுகத்தையும் பலத்தையும் ஆரோக்கியத்தையும் தாரும் ஆண்டவரே. அவர்கள் ஊழியக்காரர்கள் கர்த்தாவே ஊழியக்காரர்களுடைய சுகத்தை விரும்புகிற ஒரு ஆண்டவரே. கர்த்தாவே எல்லா ஊழியக்காரர்களையும் ஆசீர்வதி. நல்ல ஆரோக்கியமாக சுகமாக ஆண்டுடைய ஊழியத்தை செய்யத்தக்கதான பலத்தையும் நல்ல சத்துவத்தையும் தத்து வழிநடத்த வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிறார். வயசான பெற்றோர்களையும் ஆசீர்வதியும் ஆண்டவரே. எத்தனையோ பேர் வயசானவர்கள் உடைய ஊழியத்தை செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள் கர்த்தாவே. ரிட்டையர்டான பிறகு உடைய ஊழியத்தை செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிற ஊழியக்காரர்களை விசேஷமாக ஆசீர்வதியும் கர்த்தாவே. இந்த ஜூம்ல இருக்கிற ஒவ்வொரு பிள்ளைகளையும் ஆசீர்வதியும். இந்த பேசின பிள்ளைகளுக்கு கர்த்தாவே அவர்களுக்கு நீதிபதிகளாக ஜட்ஜாக இருந்த ஒவ்வொருவரையும் ஆசீர்வதியும். அவர்களுக்கு கொடுத்த தீர்ப்பின்படி ஆண்டவரே நல்ல காரியங்களை கற்றுக்கொள்ள மாணவர்களுக்கு விசேஷ ஞானத்தை அறிவையும் தர வேணுமாய் ஜெபிக்கிறோம். நாங்கள் பாவிகள் ஆண்டவரே, நாங்கள் உங்களுடைய பிள்ளைகள் சுவாமி. நாங்கள் ஒரு நாளும் விட்டு வழிவழிக்கு போகாதபடி உங்களுடைய கருத்துக்கள் அடங்கி இருக்கும். ஏற்ற வேலையில ஆண்டவர் உயர்த்தத்தக்கதான எல்லா பலத்தையும் சுகத்தையும் ஆரோக்கியத்தையும் தந்தரணும் ஆண்டவரே. எத்தனையோ பேர் வேலை வாய்ப்பு இல்லாதபடி கஷ்டப்பட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க கர்த்தாவே. அவர்களுக்கும் நல்ல வேலை வாய்ப்பை தந்து வருமானத்தை தந்து குடும்பங்களை சந்தோஷ சமாதானத்தையும் தர வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிறோம். எத்தனை பேர் வீடுகளிலும் ஆஸ்பத்திரிகளிலும் கர்த்தாவே சுகவீனமா பலவீனமா இருக்கிறாங்க. கேன்சர்னால கஷ்டப்படுகிறாங்க, வைரஸ்னால கஷ்டப்படுகிறார்கள் கர்த்தாவே. எத்தனையோ வியாதிகள்னால கஷ்டப்பட்டு கொண்டிருக்காங்க. எல்லா பிள்ளைகளையும் ஆசீர்வதியும் காத்துக்கொள்ளும் வழி நடத்தியலும். இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை இன்னும் அதிகமாக இன்னும் உற்சாகத்தோடு இன்னும் ஆசீர்வாதத்தோடு நடந்த ஆண்டவரே, அநேகம் பேர் நிறைய பேர் வந்து இதுல கலந்து கொண்டு பிள்ளைகளை உற்சாகப்படுத்தத்தக்கதாக நீர் வழி நடத்தும் சுவாமி. காத்துக்கொள்ளும் பாஸ்டர் எட்வினும் மிஸ்ஸஸ் எட்வின் அவருடைய குழந்தைகளை ஆசீர்வதி சுவாமி. மிஸ்டர் எட்வர்டு அவருடைய குழந்தைகளையும் அவங்க மனைவி ஆசீர்வதி சுவாமி. மிஸ்டர் ரவி அவங்க குடும்பத்தையும் இதற்காக பாடுபட்டு கொண்டிருக்கிற ஒவ்வொரு குடும்பங்களையும் ஆசீர்வதியும் கர்த்தாவே. இந்த நாளின் ஆசீர்வாதத்தை எங்களுக்கு தாரும். நிறைய பேருக்கு இரவு வேலையா இருக்குது சுவாமி. அவங்களுக்கு படுக்கை முன்பதாக உங்களுடைய கிருபை அவங்களோடு தங்க வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிற ஆண்டவரே. மத்தியான வேலையில் உள்ள மக்களுக்காகவும் காலை வேலையில் உள்ள மக்களுக்காக ஜெபிக்கிறோம். நீர் காத்துக்கொள்ளும் வழி நடத்தும். நாங்கள் உங்களுடைய வருகைக்காக ஆயத்தமுள்ள பிள்ளைகளாக எப்பொழுதும் உடைய நாமத்தை தொழுது கொள்கிறாகும். எங்கள் பாவங்கள் மன்னிக்கப்பட்டு நாங்கள் எப்பொழுதும் உடைய பாதத்திலே விழுந்து நாங்கள் ஜெபித்து எங்களுடைய கஷ்டங்கள் எல்லாம் நீர் தீர்த்து வழிநடத்த வேணுமாய் ஜெபிக்கிறோம். பிள்ளைகள் வேலைக்கு போகும்போது வரும்போது உங்களுடைய தூதர்களின் பாதுகாப்பு இருக்குது சுவாமி. வேலை செய்யற இடத்துல உடைய தூதர்களின் பாதுகாப்பு, எல்லாருடைய வீடுகளை சுற்றிலும் உடைய தூதர்களின் பாதுகாப்பு இருக்க வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிறோம். எங்களை காத்துக்கொள்ளும். நாங்கள் உம்முடைய பிள்ளைகள் கர்த்தராகிய இயேசு கிறிஸ்து ரத்தத்தினால மீட்கப்பட்டவர்கள் கர்த்தாவே. நாங்கள் பரிசுத்தமுள்ள பிள்ளைகளாக ஜீவிக்க எங்களுக்கு அனுக்கிரகம் செய்தரலும். எல்லா பிள்ளைகளும் இந்த சிறு பிள்ளைகளுடைய நிகழ்ச்சியில் வெகுவாக நீர் ஆசீர்வதிக்க வேணுமா ஜெபிக்கிறோம். காத்துக்கொள்ளும் வழி நடத்தலும். இயேசுவின் மூலம் வேண்டுகிறோம் பரிசுத்தமுள்ள பரமபிதாவே. ஆமென்.
ஆமென். என் ஆத்துமாவே கர்த்தரை ஸ்தோத்தரி, என் முழுலுமே அவரது பரிசுத்த நாமத்தை ஸ்தோத்தரி. என் ஆத்துமாவே கர்த்தரை ஸ்தோத்தரி, கர்த்தர் செய்த சகல உபகாரங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் மறுவாத்திருங்க. ஆமென். பாஸ்டர் துரைராஜ் பெனடிக்ஷன் கூறும்படி தாழ்வோடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். பாஸ்டர் துரைராஜ்.
நம்முடைய ஆண்டவரும் மறுமலர்ச்சியுமாகிய இயேசு கிறிஸ்துனுடைய கிருபை, பிதாவாகிய தேவனுடைய அன்பு, தூய ஆவியானவருடைய விசேஷித்த ஆசீர்வாதம், வல்லமை, தேவனுடைய பாதுகாப்பு ஆண்டவரே இந்த ஜூமில் இருக்கிற ஆண்டவருடைய பிள்ளைகள் அனைவரோடும், குறிப்பாக பேசிய இளம் சிறார்களோடும் அவருடைய பெற்றோர்களோடும் அவருடைய எதிர்கால ஊழியங்களோடும் எதிர்கால திட்டங்களோடும் தொடர்ந்து இன்றும் என்றும் சதா காலங்களிலும் வழிநடத்துவீராக. ஆமென்.
ஆமென். நன்றி. மீண்டும் நாம் நாளை தினத்துல சந்திப்போம். நாளை தினத்துல வருகை தவிர்க்கிற நபர்களை குறித்து நாம் கண்டுட்டு நாம் விடைபெறலாம். நாளை தினத்துல இந்த பேச்சு களத்துல இறக்கக்கூடியவர்கள் யாரு சொல்லிட்டு கொஞ்சம் நேரம் கவனித்து நாம் கடந்து போகலாம். நாளை தினத்துல வருபவர்கள் யாரு என்று சொல்லி என்னோட கூட தயவாக கொஞ்ச நேரம் யாருக்காவது ஏதாவது கருத்து குறிப்புகள் நீங்கள் தெரியப்படுத்தணும் என்று சொன்னால் தயவாக என்னை தொடர்பு கொள்ளுங்க, அல்லது பிரதர் எட்வர்ட்டை தொடர்பு கொள்ளுங்க, அல்லது இந்தியா பிரதிநிதித்து இருக்கிறவர்கள் சிஸ்டர் செல்வி சார்ல்ஸ், யூகேல சிஸ்டர் பெல்லா, அடுத்ததாக மலேசியா சிங்கப்பூர் என்னுடைய மனைவி வீணா எட்வின், அடுத்ததாக ஸ்ரீலங்கால சிஸ்டர் ஜெனி ஜோயல், ஜெர்மனி, பிரான்ஸ், ஈத்தலி சிஸ்டர் பேமுகா சலமியை நீங்க தொடர்பு கொள்ளலாம். உங்களுடைய பிள்ளைகளை இந்த பேச்சு காலத்துல பங்கு பெறணும்னு சொன்னா இவர்களை தொடர்பு கொண்டு நீங்கள் பதிவு செய்யும்படிக்கு நான் தாழ்வோடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். அடுத்ததாக நாளை தினத்துல பேச வருகிறவர்கள் இந்த லிஸ்ட்ல இருக்கிறது. வாய் ரோஹி நிஷாந்தினி ஸ்ரீலங்கால இருந்து, ஜாஸ்லி ஜுடித் அண்ட் டேனியல் ராஜ் செல்வச்சந்திரன். நமக்கு விசேஷ பாடல் பாட வருகிறவர்கள் புளோரினா யுகின்றன். ஆகையினாலே தயவாக இந்த வேலையிலே நாம் இவர்களுக்காகவும் ஜெபம் ஏறெடுப்போம். நாளை தினத்தில் இதே நேரத்துல மீண்டும் நாம் சந்திக்க வருவோம். கர்த்தர் நம்மை ஆஸ்வதிப்பாராக. இந்த வேலையை நாம் விடைபெறுவோம். விடைபெறும் முன்பாக பிரதர் எட்வர்ட் அவர்களை நான் அழைக்கிறேன். பிரதர் எட்வர்ட் ஒன்று இரண்டு வார்த்தைகளை கூறி நாம் விடைபெறலாம். பிரதர் எட்வர்ட். பிரதர் எட்வர்ட்.
பாஸ்டர் அவர் இல்ல பாஸ்டர், வெளியில போயிட்டாரு.
Okay. சரி, Sister Bella, do you want to say a few words? Go ahead, Sister Bella. You unmute yourself.
Nothing to add. I just want to thank all the children participating, especially for the parents. All of them did very well. I just want to thank all the children and the parents for participating and encouraging the children to involve in this program. Thank you.